Hi, Davir, and today we have a new episode in the art review series. And today we'll be checking out the work of Sergi Brosa. I'm trying to highlight the name. Um, yeah. So I do like, because I think for the past few episodes we've been reviewing like line work heavy artists or line work focused artists. Now Sergi here or Sergi does have line work. Let me just zoom in. I found this artist, I believe, via Twitter. I think that if you zoom in on their line work, it does have a bit of that pencil look, meaning it's a bit gray. You will see it more in the spots where there's lighter color. For example, in this like white sort of like spotlights, you will see that kind of more pencil-ish line. So they do keep the line work kind of thin and pencil-esque. So let me just, I think we can flip through, right? And they're not, oh, I do like the shot. It's a bit animated, meaning there's quite a bit of exaggeration. There's another artist named, I believe the name is Tony Infante. They're a comic artist. I'm not sure what Sergi is or Sergi is. Maybe they're just an illustrator, but I feel like they can do more narrative artwork just because it does. Oh, I like this one. I've seen this way back like years ago, and I think it's one of those artworks that have really like impacted me. Like the drawing, but also the color sort of choices. Maybe they're using some kind of graded map. I'm not sure, but I do like the. I do see a lot more like warms, like purple, pinks, reds in their work. I like the shot. I would recommend you go to the. I will link this page, by the way, in the description below. It's from character design references. It's a very like good art sort of resource site. Oh, look at the guy's face here. Yeah, and some of their parts are just kind of exposed on this one. But I do like this sort of creativity here, right? Like it's not just the actual like illustration style, but the design itself. Like it's so it reminds me a little bit of Rael Lyra. Hopefully I'm saying the last name right. But like it's so imaginative, and I feel like they have a I like this one. They have a thing for world building. And if you look at the coloring style, it's just a bunch of flats, and then they split it up into two major values, like one in light, one in shadow, and even the shadows or the sorry, like the edge here. Let me just can I show this? Like the edge is pretty sharp. I don't see a lot of like soft brushes being used. I mean, I do see some gradients. For example, this part is a bit more red, and this part becomes a bit more, well, the original color. I think this is the only major change here, but I don't see a lot of like brush variety. It's very rendered in a very direct kind of way. Again, with the gradient here, it's more red going into the forehead. Gets more normal as you go out of the furthest part of the hat. I do like the way they draw the anatomy in that, or the not just the anatomy, but the subject, the clothes. It's sort of like exaggerated, like big shapes and then very small hands, big beard, right? Small teeth, small shoes or feet. I think it's a great way to learn these types of subjects. For example, this is not fully exaggerated because I know this sort of creature does exist. It's a kind of crocodile with a very long snout. But despite that, there is some stylization going on just look at the silhouette of this crocodile, like how it goes like sharp and then it goes smooth and then sharp again, right? It reminds me a little bit of the sort of fluid, not fluid, but the way my input woe draws. Although he does a lot of figures, women, basically thick women, but it has a sort of like fast and then smooth and then fast, like kind of vibe. Very dynamic sort of line work. Well, maybe not line work, but shapes. Because the line work for their work for Sergi over here, it's really I don't really see much line weight. I think most of the heavy lifting is done by the rendering. Yeah, there are some base colors or flats, but it's just after that it's like shadow, and then light. That's it. And then within like that shadow, there's a bit of that gradient again. This one is a bit more red and then fades out to a more normal color. So yeah, it's a very simple approach, but if the base itself, the drawing or the idea itself is pretty cool, it's gonna look nice. I do like this one. It feels very Mad Max-ish. And having like crocodile pets is pretty like badass. So there you go. Right? Again with the exaggerated sort of anatomy. I've seen this a lot where the tips of either the hands, the feet, they tend to be like red and then they fade out to the more normal color. The heads are a bit big. That's more of a stylization thing. But again, if you look at the line work, it's a bit thin. It has, and it's not purely black. Wait, let me try. Can we zoom in into the photo a little bit? Because just seeing it from afar, maybe for some parts they do color the line work a bit, but I don't think so. It's very thin, a bit gray, looks more like a pencil. It's basically not like a pure black kind of ink work, and it's not totally. It's a lot cleaner, but there are some like parts where it does like overshoot, right? But it's very minimal. Like it's not. You don't see a lot of like shading or hatching with like these pencil strokes. Most of that is done with the flats and stuff. Oh, I do see some halftone texture here. I do like this one too. I like the clouds. Again, you can see more of that line work there. The halftone texture is kind of cool too. It just aside from the halftone texture, well, there is no other texture aside from the halftones. So it's a nice sort of addition. But you don't need it. I think for their style, it works on its own. I like the what do you call this? It's in Japan, like these sort of columns with the roofing. It's more of like an entranceway. It's not really designed to be like stood on. It's more of like a gateway of some kind. But yeah, I like it. Right? Very creative character designs here. Let me just this is pretty cool. Oh, let me go back. Can we go back? Yeah. A full image though. So they do have some pieces where it's really just focused on like each individual character. And then they have stuff like this where it's more like a full-fledged kind of illustration. And yeah, their poses are kind of dynamic. I mean, obviously when you do like more character focused stuff like this, it's not going to be as wild. It's more of like a one shot of what the character is about. And there's hardly any like environmental stuff because you don't need it at the moment or in this sort of context. But when they do start to do environments, I've noticed they do really like to show off that sort of dynamic vibe of their characters. I think these are like called character sheets. This would be in that kind of category where it's really more about showing off the design, maybe a bit of like poses here and there, but it's mostly about what they're wearing, what they look like in different views. But yeah, if you look at the brushwork, say in the bottom, the only other texture is this halftone texture. So it does have that graphic sort of vibe. I have some coffee here. Oh, it's hot. But yeah, their work is pretty clean. I like it. More of a colored piece. They're kind of into mechas too. I like this minigun over here, or this Gatling gun. Pretty cool. Again, a fuller piece or a more painted piece, right? I think the gradients just add a bit of something. It's hard to see just zooming out, but when you really look into those, maybe that's a word for it, ambient occlusion. It just makes things a little more realistic. So if you render stuff in this way where it's a bunch of flats and you're not really like rendering, painting, or even hatching with lines, if you just render with like a one base color and then you separate those into dark or light, adding those gradients just adds a bit of extra something, like it compensates for that flatness, or it makes your flat sort of colors not look as flat, right? Like all of this thing is like one shape. It's split into two. This one is in light and then this one is in shadow, but within this whole like thing, you do see some like this part is going to be a bit more red. You do see some underlighting a bit here. It's pretty cool. And you could do it so fast. Like you don't have to do it for like each muscle. Like it works more of like as a wash. This one's more painted. I don't really see the any kind of line work, so it's more of an illustration. Oh, I've seen this like repinned plenty of times on Pinterest. But yeah, it's a very dynamic shot. Very like the perspective is kind of skewed, but it makes it a lot more interesting. You know, if you draw the same thing, but without this perspective, it's gonna look kind of boring. But if you just play around with a shot like this, it's gonna look, pretty cool. It's very close to not a fisheye, well close, but yeah. Oh, interesting. This stuff here, like the ground sort of dust, it doesn't have any line work because I've seen in there's some of their other work, they do like adding some lines for like the clouds. So interesting. But I guess it helps you focus more on this thing over here because this one does have the some line work. In some parts, it starts to kind of lose it because the painting or the rendering is carrying more of the weight, but there are still some lines there. But again, it still has a very pencil esque sort of vibe to it. Very interesting, right? I think this is all from like one world. It's very sort of what's the word? Like post apocalyptic kind of vibe where they all look like some kind of scavenger types. Pretty cool. I like the calves though. It's kind of thick. I do like seeing calves where they're just as thick as the thighs. I don't know. It just looks more. They look more fit that way, and less frail. This one's a bit more clean, but you could still tell it's sort of their approach. Again, that slight bit of gradient as you go. It becomes more red here and then fades out to a more normal color, even for the hair, right? So maybe they're doing this under multiply. Yeah, I've done this technique, but obviously without the drawing, the design as well underneath, it's not gonna look as good. But this is what you want to aim for, I guess. Oh, those shoes or those rollerblades are very interesting. They have some tooth. Interesting, right? Very creative stuff here. And I guess when you simplify too your like design or drawing approach or your style, I've mentioned this in a post on the YouTube post section. Style is really more about like efficiency. I did link some video of this guy from what's his name, Creative Pep Talk something, but his sort of wording for it is efficiency. It just helps you get the ideas out or the real big like substance out because you're not wasting too much time or a lot of time with having to pick the colors or pick your tools because you've already set everything. So you're just focused on the actual big ideas. And what I like to say, it's your style is pretty much like your best list of your best practices, of your best / preferred practices. For example, I was just looking at their artwork, Sergi's artwork here. They just like drawing in really thin lines and then rendering things in like flat colors and then adding some values at the top. But that's it. Like even the way the light is done here, it looks like it was done with the lasso selection tool or a lasso fill tool. And I think that helps them get their ideas across. A lot of their work is design heavy, meaning there's a lot of like details. And the silhouette too is pretty clear, right? So some spots, architectural designs here, pretty cool. Pretty cool. I like it. I do like the grayscale rendering. It reminds me of like Copic or alcohol-based marker renderings. It can look like this traditionally as well, right? Very interesting. And even the way they do the anatomy, there's a bit of stylization, but it does lean a bit more on the realistic side. It's semi-realistic. Oh, it reminds me of some of the drawings of they do a lot of like creature mecha kind of things. Estepanian. Let me just write the name. I forgot the first. Oh, Thomas. I'm not sure how to pronounce the last name, but I believe he's French. Estepanian. Like the way they do their line work is also similar. It's very pencil-esque, very thin. And then although Thomas here likes to do more like creature, like really weird, cool looking, like Evangelion-esque, as I would say, types of creatures. I mean, they do some human figures, but it's very similar to how Sergi does it. So check them out. There we go. Oh, this one, you can tell the difference. Look at the line work here and the line work here. This one is a bit more inky, meaning it's a lot more black, which is nothing wrong. It's not wrong, but I like this one better. So these are more like quick design sketches, right? Ooh. So this one is the original, and then they have like a colored version, or with shadows basically. And I think this is a great sort of design process too, because you're solving lots of things. Like in the end, you're gonna get some kind of illustration that you can present, but also when you're doing this sort of phase over here, you're just, by skipping the shadows and the lighting, you're just focused more on the design, so you can just present this off, or you can figure a lot of stuff in this phase, and then if you want to, you can like start adding shadows and lighting and stuff like that, adding extra like environmental context to, I guess, make it more presentable if you have to. But starting from here and then here and then here, like you get something to present each time. So it's nice having this kind of process. I think this is very common in more like design heavy fields, whether in applied arts like in architecture, fashion, interior design, but also in like game design, sort of concept art kind of fields. This one reminds me a little bit of Feng Zhu, because I know he likes a lot of like insect-esque ideas. Again, I think I've seen this so often that I just know it's. I even do this myself. When you're trying to learn anatomy, you want to go for caricature. You want to learn how to caricaturize it, or if you're thinking of like anime, you think of chibi-izing it, meaning basically smaller, cuter versions of the actual thing, because you're really trying to capture like what makes that person or that subject. So for this guy, it's going to be like the big. I think this is from like a fighting game. I forgot. I know this is Chun-Li, Street Fighter or something. I don't know. Now for Chun-Li, obviously, these sort of things are going to be very common. Her kind of what are them? Or what are they? They're like buns, two buns, and of course her thick legs. She's very known for like really big like thighs, because she does kick more. And for this guy, I haven't really seen him fight, but I've seen his like a fan art of him plenty of times. But obviously, based on his like body, he's gonna have like really big like his big arms mean he does fight with his arms more than say his actual legs. Right? So you want, when you're drawing stuff like this, you just want to try to capture the big sort of shapes, and you can sort of exaggerate it. And I think it's through exaggeration that you can learn a very complex subject matter like anatomy. So learn to caricaturize, learn to chibi size, and yeah, and it's fun too, because you don't have to be that exact. So you can just say, "Oh, I'm stylizing it," or whatever. Okay, I think we're done. We've cycled through their pieces there. I'm sure they have more work, so I will link this page in the description below. And yeah, so I think we have a few more artists like this. I'm not sure, but we'll see. But that's it for this art review. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.